start this story really quickly. We'll probably have to finish it in overtime, but want to get your thoughts on the latest trend of drag queen storytime hour that's going on. It started in the UK. It's now come over to the United States. The latest one was in Minnesota, and there was a drag queen that was wearing a mini skirt who apparently didn't think to wear any underwear, and it's a transgender woman, obviously, exposed his crotch to a bunch of preschoolers, elementary schoolers, toddlers, infants, while reading a story. Grant, how is this happening in this country in 2019?
I think for the first time he's left me absolutely speechless. Do you see that picture? Mm-hmm. So he obviously knows what he's doing. Mm-hmm. He 100% knows what he's doing.
This was oops.
Who is the administrator or teacher behind this stupid idea that you're going to bring Bozo the Clown in to read to your kids?
The bigger question is, where are the fathers, and why is somebody not grabbing this douche by the neck and throwing him out of the classroom? I can't imagine as a dad, if I mean, first of all, if I was there, my son wouldn't be anywhere near
Who are the parents who are taking their kids to drag queen story time?
So I guess that answers the question why there's no parents grabbing them by the neck.
They say they want this to be for LGBT equality and to get people. How would that help their cause? You know, how does that help people be more accepting of LGBT people when you put that as the example in front of children and you dress them up like that and sexualize it like that? I don't see who that helps in terms of their cause.
They got what they asked for here. They invited that guy to come in and speak to their kids. They got exactly what any reasonable person would have expected they were going to get.
And the more they defend it, the more votes they give to Trump. That's the bottom line.
All right, all great points. We'll be back in a minute. I just wanted to, we were in the middle of talking about the drag queen storytime hour. Couple things on this. Number one, that the librarian hosting the event reminded the adults that they are role models for children, and that, quote, if anyone gets upset, even grown-ups, you can leave.
If you get flashed by a drag queen, you can get out of there. That's
well,
fair.
I mean, I love the sort of subtle, well, I mean, if you're easily offended, by penises and stuff, you can leave. It's like,
right.
Yeah, I kind of have a little bit of a problem.
I think that would be the issue that you face at the public library, but this is 2019. So.
This is where your tax dollars are going. So the library's full statement on why they did this, because I think we're all sitting here going, okay, why is this a thing? So this is their explanation. I want to get your thoughts on it. They said, Storytime Together with Drag Performers is a relatively new program in this county library system. Drag performers historically were leaders in the fight for equality. Including them in LGBT History Month observances is meant to both honor the history and provide a welcoming space for families who may not otherwise see themselves reflected in our public places. Partway through this year's schedule, we realized the need for a performer dress code. We followed up right away with each of the performers to ensure that their costumes are appropriate for the audience and activity.
I wonder how they felt about being called costumes, right? I mean, they're like hypocrites. That's what they are. Oh, well, we need to be inclusive of everybody. Your costume over here, right?
I mean,
come on.
That's true.
And so here you have the proof of what really went down. Like, they were kind of upset that the guy was showing his junk to the kids, right? They were kind of upset by that, but they still can't really bring themselves to admit it, that it went just terribly wrong.
You can't criticize the protected people at all.
You can't.
Not even if they show you their genitalia. You're not allowed to say that's not cool.
Well, here's my question. If it was a male who was not dressed up like a woman, would he not be arrested?
You would be in jail. You would be a sex offender for the rest of your life. Yeah.
I mean, but a dude puts on a dress and all of a
Indecent
sudden...
exposure no longer applies if you're in drag.
Do we know what happened to that person after that incident?
No, but apparently the story's on theblaze.com. So if we have those results, you should go look at them at theblaze.com. No, but I mean, that's a really great point. It's just like, why is this okay? Why is this guy not? I mean, I'm sure we would have known if he was arrested.
I would think
You
so.
know what I mean?
But why does it have to be young kids that are the experiment for this? Why do we have to experiment with them like that? Why can't it be a more adult situation? These kids have no choice in the matter. They don't have any idea what they're experiencing. They probably don't even know how to process it.
You know why? Because they're impressionable, and they're sponges for information.
And they know that.
And if you expose them and you desensitize them to this type of stuff, eventually they will grow up thinking it's normal.
We know we've lost the college and university system to liberals now. we really have lost K through 12 education to liberals. And I would like to just say for the record, you may surprise you as conservative commentator here, but I've been to drag shows, and they can be pretty damn entertaining, right? You go to these things, they're freaking funny. But at the library with kids, that's not the place.
Whatever you want to do as an adult, do your thing. But the fact, I think they are making a big miscalculation by going after the kids, because you're seeing even people who are supportive of drag and LGBTQ and all this stuff, seeing them be like, whoa, wait a second, these are children.
I would like to hear more from the parents who feel like this is a good thing to get up and take their kids to, and what they feel like their kid is getting out of that. I'd be curious about that.
I think blind liberal zombieism took over here, and parents just blindly took their kids because, oh, this is going to be a healthy experience. We learn about everybody. Well, they learned about everybody, and everybody's junk is what they learned about.
Well, I mean, speaking of indoctrination, you just said you think that liberals have taken over K through 12 as well. Here in Texas, Austin's school district approved a high-risk sex ed curriculum. So children in Austin as young as 8 years old will now be taught to promote high-risk sexual behavior. And the district's new curriculum includes role-playing scenarios for children that involve anal and oral sex, and features a situation where an underage girl has a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old that she hides from her parents. Have we all gone insane?
As a born and raised Texan, I just want to be clear that we disown Austin.
Oh, absolutely.
It is not officially a part of Texas. It's its own, communist republic, and it can stay there. But that's not surprising coming out of Austin, sadly, because talk about losing something to the far left. They've completely infested. Oh my God!
But I mean, even
this is where. Sorry.
Let me tell you just a little bit more of what this curriculum includes, and then I want you to make your point, Aaron. It also teaches about numerous sexual orientations. Children are told that their gender is based on their feelings rather than their biological sex, and they are encouraged to challenge homophobia by attending LGBT pride parades. Lesson plans instruct teachers to use gender-neutral pronouns and avoid using binaries such as mom and dad.
Even in Austin, that's surprising to me, because I mean, the idea of, again, sexualizing children and exposing them to that, and what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to be the result of that? I don't see what the justification is that that's healthy for children at that age to take in all that information, because they're not going to be able to use it in a productive or safe way. The parents, as we see with this drag queen storytime thing, are clearly not really involved in shaping how their kids are thinking and viewing things. And so I just wonder, 10, 20 years from now, what are we going to think about these children who experience this? How are they going to be living their lives? Is it going to be in a positive and safe way, or is it going to be in a way that's damaging and destructive to them in the long term? And I think it's the latter.
As a father, this story frightens me to death, because it's so easy to say, okay, well, pull your kid out of that school district and move to another. You know how hard that is for some families. I mean, it's hard for my family. I can't uproot and move, and so now you're stuck in the school district. Would I want to take my kid out of the school district? Absolutely. It's not always an option. So I'm left thinking, as a single dad who's got a 10-year-old son in school, what is he learning? You hand that kid off to a school district and teachers, and you trust that they're going to be okay. The bottom line is, I think the chances are they're probably not going to be okay in most schools across America today.
Well, and you've got this happening at a time where you've got a lot of the Democratic presidential candidates saying that they don't want school choice, right? Like they want to shut down privates, they want to shut down charters, they don't want school choice, and it makes me wonder, is that part of is this all just some master plan that they know that this indoctrination takes place in the public schools and they don't want to allow you the option of opting out of that?
Well, I think in their heads, they're thinking that we have to teach the children the right thing, and these other places that are teaching Christian values, that's harmful. Like they think of traditional Christian values as dangerous as we think of what they're doing in public schools. So it's like in their heads, they're saving the kids, but in reality, I think they're doing a lot more.
And I think about it as a parent. What happens to me if I, as a parent, my child is learning that stuff and I object to that? What happens to me? Do I get reported as a bad parent? Do I get like the situation with the child that the mother wants to transition gender-wise? Like, does the custody of my children come into question because I'm teaching them abusive or harmful, Christian values that
I
don't
can
accept.
tell you what happens. You're ostracized. You end up like me when you're picking up your kid on the playground. You're the only dad standing there, and everybody's on the other side of the playground from you. That's what happens.
Yeah.
I see my future in you.